In the 1950s, America experienced an economic boom, with cars zooming along wide highways and roadside motels springing up like mushrooms to serve travelers. But behind the pastel paint, bright neon signs, and cozy little rooms, some motels carry chilling stories, unsolved mysteries, and ghosts that seem to linger even to this day. Imagine you are driving through a deserted road, the hazy moonlight shining on an old, flickering sign. Vacancy. You stop in front of a small motel characterized by 1950s architecture with a low roof, a long porch, and mint green doors. The silence is unusually profound. You walk into the reception, the bell jingles, but no one appears. An old register lies on the table with the scrawled signatures of guests from decades ago. You take the key, enter the room, and from that moment you begin to sense that something is not right. There are motels famous for their ghost stories passed down through generations. For example, in a small motel in the Midwest, it is said that on every rainy night, the cries of a woman echo in the empty hallway. The story goes that in 1957, a young couple stopped here during their honeymoon. That night, the husband suddenly disappeared without a trace, leaving the wife desperate and heartbroken. Since then, her spirit is believed to linger here, waiting for her husband to return. At another motel, located in the California desert, guests recount that they often see shadows passing by the windows at midnight, even though the parking lot is completely empty. Some people have even heard an old radio turning on in the dead of night, playing old songs interspersed with indistinct whispered conversations. Some say it is the souls of gangsters, those who once stopped here and then vanished without a trace on the desolate red dirt roads. One of the most famous stories is about a motel in the suburbs of Atlanta. In 1952, it was the scene of a gruesome murder. The motel owner was killed right at the front desk, and the perpetrator was never caught. Since then, many guests have reported feeling a chill down their spine when walking through the hallway, sometimes even seeing the silhouette of a man in an old suit, standing silently in the dark corner, his eyes following their every step. The lights in the room often flicker, and sometimes a knocking sound can be heard in the middle of the night with no one outside. These motels, although dilapidated, still exist as silent witnesses of the past. The interior has changed little. Creaky iron beds, faded floral wallpaper, black and white TVs, and rotary phones. Each room seems to hold its own story, memories that cannot be erased. There are rooms that the new owners never rent out, because anyone who has stayed there has encountered strange phenomena. Heavy footsteps on the ceiling, the faint scent of old perfume in the air, and strange bloodstains that appear and then disappear on the bedspread. Not only are there ghosts, but some motels are also associated with unsolved mysteries. Some were once stopping points for notorious criminals, outlaws living in the shadows. It is said that whenever the weather turns cold, the window of room number 7 automatically swings open, as if someone had hurriedly fled into the night. Some have even found strange forgotten items: a suitcase full of decaying cash, an unsent letter with desperate pleas, or a gold ring engraved with the names of 2 deceased individuals. The strange thing is that despite being labeled as haunted, these motels still attract quite a few curious guests, those who are passionate about exploring the mysterious. They come here, hoping to experience a chilling sensation, or even to confront the ghosts of the past. Some leave with unbelievable stories. Cameras suddenly running out of battery, phones experiencing interference, or scratches appearing on their arms for no apparent reason. Others say that just stepping into the room, they immediately feel a deep sadness, as if sharing the loneliness with the restless souls. The haunted motels from the 1950s are not only the subject of late-night stories, but also a symbol of a tumultuous era in America. It was a time of endless road trips, of people seeking freedom and new opportunities, but also a time of loss, disorientation, and mysteries that were never solved. Each motel is a piece of history, where memory and reality intersect, where the boundary between the living and the dead becomes more fragile than ever. If you have the chance, you should stop by one of those old motels, Listen to the sounds of the night, feel the thick atmosphere of the past, and let your imagination guide you into stories that have never been fully told. Who knows? You might become a witness to something strange, or simply just another guest in the time-worn register, leaving your mark among the ghosts of the 1950s.